Hi guys, it's Jordan and welcome back to my channel. So before I start, I just want to apologize because I am so sorry about the lack of videos, life and all of that. But don't worry, I'm back and better. I'm going to be coming with you guys with way more videos. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down there so you know when I'm posting. So before I start this video, I just want to also add that this is not to make fun of anyone or embarrass anyone. I just honestly feel like I went through a serious and important issue that a lot of women and girls, especially my age, are also dealing with or have gone through it as well. And it's something that someone can relate to, honestly. So basically, this story time is going to be about when a friend wants to become more than just a friend. And even though you've made it, pretty clear that you don't want anything more than just a friendship, they keep on trying. Very persistent. Those type. Now, to start this, okay, so it's freshman year. Everyone is trying to make friends, especially the first couple of weeks. Everyone is trying to make friends and meet new people. And that's the same type of wave I was on. I had already met a couple of girls, but I knew these are not my friends for the rest of my life, let alone the rest of the school year. So I need to make some new friends and pronto. So I met my friend. I'm gonna call him my good friend because we don't need to add names. Just, it doesn't really matter what the person's name is. It just matters what happened. So my good friend, I met my good friend and my friend Yusuf. I can use Yusuf's names. Shout out to Yusuf. I can use Yusuf's name. So my good friend asked if I wanted to go out with them on Friday, and I was like, sure. So I went with him into my friend Shania's room, and that's where everybody was at, and that's when we all kind of just clicked. I mean, they had already knew each other, but they had brought me into their little group, and I met everyone, clicked. Everybody was so cool and nice, and I was like, wow, I got my good group of friends. I liked everybody. It was a good mixture of girls and guys. I was just really happy because I found my little gang, my little group. So me and my good friend were definitely the closest together. I was the closest to him out of everyone in the whole group. And we did a lot together. We went to lunch, dinner together. We all went to the arcade together, went to parties, of course. So now we did everything together. If it wasn't us as a whole group, then it was just maybe a smaller group of us, but at least me and my good friend were always together doing something. Even at the end of the day for me, once my classes were done, I got out at a good time, so I would either go grab some lunch or go to my room and hang out, and my good friend was always with me doing this. Now, I did not know this at first, but he had a class at that time. He still had one more class, but he would skip it every single day. Now, do I know for 100% that he was just skipping it solely for me? No, but my thing is, I get, skipping here and there, I did all the time and stuff, but every single day consecutively, skipping your class, and almost every day we hang out. So, why else? I mean, honestly, because if you only have one more class left, why not go to that class and then have the rest of your day with still plenty of time left to go get food, hang out with friends? Why were you skipping your class every single day? What was the whole point of even being in the class if you were skipping it every single day? He even told me his professor at the end of the semester asked, are you serious? You're really taking this final? Because he was never there. Now, if I would have known that he was skipping his class every day and hanging out with me, I would definitely try to convince him, to go to your class and stuff. I mean, you're technically grown. I can't make you go, but I definitely wouldn't want someone missing out on their schoolwork and class time just because of me. But I didn't know that. So every day he decided to waste his money that he was supposed to be using towards, getting the education and getting the knowledge from this class. He decided to blow that off and hang out with me. But I didn't know that. But that's, how close we were. We were hanging out all the time like that. So for a while, everything was good. I was having so much fun. We got really closer. And I do know at times that I may have crossed the line a little, but I'm just a naturally loving and fun person. So sometimes I'm a little touchy. And it was all new to me as well because in high school, I never really had a lot of guy friends. At most, I had maybe 2. I didn't even spend as much time with my actual boyfriend that I had in high school compared to the much time that I'd spent with my guy friends in college. So it was all new to me. So sometimes maybe I was a little too touchy or a little too close at times. So I will admit that. But we all were really close and really just liked being around each other. And me and this good friend of mine were really close as well. So I was just thinking, really nothing of it. It's just how our dynamic, how our relationship is. So then it got to Halloween time. We went to a Halloween party. We were coming back and all of a sudden he just decides to just stop, pinned me to a wall and starts kissing me. Now, we have been drinking, we're both a little lit and stuff, so I don't know if just blaming on that, he got a little ballsy all of a sudden, or whatever the case may be. He just decided to do it then and there. And I didn't stop him. I definitely did. We had kissed for a little while, all that type of stuff. But then we just went to McDonald's like everyone does after all the parties, and we went back to our rooms like, nothing had happened. And days after, we didn't really talk about it or anything like that, so I kind of just blew that off as, just a one-time little fling about it, and nothing really changed right away for me to think, oh gosh, like, he took that the wrong way. But in all honesty, thinking about it now, that definitely should not have happened, especially without talking about it after, because that is one of those situations that led up to all the madness later, to where it was like, he took too much from that idea and he thought it was going to be something more than what it really needed to be after the fact, and I just never really knew. Yeah, so after Halloween, things started to get a little weird. He started to get a little kind of like offended or upset when I would talk about other guys. There was one guy in particular that I was really good friends with. He had actually introduced us one night at a party. We all went to my room after the three of us and just hung out. So he knew all about this guy. And me and this guy, we weren't actually boyfriend, girlfriend, but we liked each other. We had a little thing going on and stuff. But my good friend knew. All of a sudden, just the sound of his voice around or me talking about him he was just so annoyed, always had an attitude. And then he started acting a lot different too. Now, one of these weekends at Edinburgh, and my freshman year I always will say is my funnest year I ever had in college. Always something going on except for that weekend. And that weekend was kind of just dead, basically. Everyone bored, especially underclassmen, having nothing to do because nobody was throwing any parties. I think a lot of people went home that weekend. There was nothing going on for the most part. And so for the whole day, my guy friends and I hung out, went to breakfast, lunch, all that, did everything for the day together. But it started getting closer to the night, and they were still there. We've been with each other, all morning, doing everything with me, whether it was going to breakfast, doing my laundry, or just watching movies. They were there with me. So I'm kind of thinking, you guys don't want to, go to your rooms, go take a shower, or, go take a nap, do something, on your own. Like, I love people and stuff, but sometimes, just being a person, I need a little break. So they were with me all day. And I knew that I wanted to go see my other friend who I just mentioned earlier that night, and I was going to need them to eventually leave, especially if I wanted him to come to my room. They were going to have to leave. But they weren't going anywhere. I even tried to sneak away to the center, our student center, and they still followed me. Like, I started to walk down the stairs. I told them I was going to the laundry room. I left a little side door. So they started running down and following me, and we were literally basically like a game of tag. They were trying to chase me as I was running towards the student center. And eventually, once they caught up to me, I was a little annoyed. I was like, I just want to be by myself. Like, gosh, guys. And so my friend Jalil had confessed. He's like, we know what you're going to do. Like, we know you want to go somewhere and see, who and stuff. Why don't you just tell us? Like, we're just playing with you because you won't tell us and you can talk to us. So I was like, okay. So they were just joking around and everything, just trying to make fun of me and stuff because I was being secretive or whatever. Well, really it wasn't their business, but they were trying to play a joke. So I knew they were kidding. Everyone except for my good friend was kidding because they were all joking around, laughing at the end of it, and he still had this little annoyed face, like he really did want to keep following me around that night. So I get them to go away for a little while. I end up at my friend's place, and then all of a sudden we hear like this banging on the door all loud, and we don't have any lights on or playing any loud music like that, so there should be no reason for the RA or even police to have an issue with us. So what's going on? He goes to the door, nobody's there. He looks to the people. So a couple minutes later go by, and then we hear some banging again, and then I hear some voices outside. And after being with someone and around a group of people basically every day, you start to recognize their voices. So I knew exactly who it was. And so my friend goes to his door and looks again. Nobody's there, except for he looks down the hall though, and he sees the shuddering of feet, someone's black shirt, and a door slam. The emergency exit door is what he told me he saw when he went outside and looked. but I could hear the voices and I knew who it was. So I just thought that was really weird. You're gonna follow me to someone else's room and start banging on the door late at night. Like, that's a little crazy. And the fact that you even got some of my friends to come with you, with some of our friends to come with you and do that, makes that even more weirder. Like, why are you that worried? Like, you, especially since you already knew where I was gonna be at. What sense did that make to try to be funny and come knock on the door? Are we in elementary school again? Is this ding dong ditch? So after that situation happened, I confronted him. He wanted to blow me off, act like he didn't know what I was talking about. Same thing with my friend. They just, laughed, shrugged it off. I knew they had a part of it, and they basically did, too. They told me basically with their little laughs and murmurs and stuff. Whereas he didn't know what I was talking about. It seemed to get like a little annoyed that I was even bringing it up and stuff. But I heard the voices, so I know, and to this day, I know exactly he was there doing that. So whatever the case may be. Then, maybe a couple weekends later, after, having a few weeks of him being annoyed and stuff, I could get that obviously he must be feeling some type of way about me and my other friend. But my thing was, we made it clear we were just friends. Now, some things may have happened, some little flirting here and there, but we made it very clear that we were just friends. You had been talking to me about your female issues and problems. I talked to you about other guys. I don't understand why you were giving me this resentment, why this guy was acting so annoyed and rude towards me, and why he was being creepy like this when we made it clear. It was just like, what's the purpose of this? This is not gonna help. This is not helping your situation at all, because all you're making me feel is just annoyed and not even want to be around you anymore in general. So we were at this party. I made sure to specifically leave before he did. And somehow he still found his way, not at my dorm, but inside my dorm. You usually have to find someone to swipe you in if you don't live there. So he let someone swipe him in. He got to my common floor area, but you can't get into my side of the hallway because you need your swipe too. So he wasn't able to get into my hallway dorm room. So he wasn't able to get into my hallway dorm, but he was in my common floor area waiting for me. And yes, he had been drinking, but he was literally waiting there for me. And at that point, I was just like, come on, dude. Because he had been texting me, and I was actually supposed to be on my way going somewhere, and he had texted me telling me to come outside, and that's where he was. So I was just trying to kick him out, basically getting him to walk with me outside of my dorm so he would just leave. But he would not stop following me. I kept telling him, I'm going somewhere, like, leave me alone, like, go home, you're tired, you've been drinking, go home. And he would just not listen to me. Oh, I'm going with you, or I'm going, you can't make me leave, blah, 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 like, Jordan, why don't this, why don't that? Just going on, like, a little bit of a belligerent rant on why I don't want to be more with him, or why am I leaving him, all that type of stuff. He's literally following me. I'm walking in circles around the dorm buildings trying to get him to leave me alone and go home. He won't do it. So at this point, I'm scared. I don't know what else to do. He seems very, 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 very serious about not leaving me. I've asked him to. I've tried to get him. We've been outside for maybe half an hour by now, walking in circles, trying to get him to leave me alone. I've threatened, to call my parents. I've threatened to call campus security, even the police, and he's still not doing anything. And I care about him. I really cared about him a lot, and so I didn't want to really get him in trouble, but I thought, at least threatening these things, it would scare him and get him to go home, but that was not working. So I felt like I was in my odds end at that point. I even called my mom. It was in the middle of the night, so she didn't answer, but I made it seem like she was on the phone with me because I was scared. I just wanted him to get that, I'm serious, leave me alone. I didn't really want to have to get him in serious trouble with campus, police, or anything like that, but it was getting to the point where if this whole mom situation wasn't working out, then that's what I was going to have to do because he was not going to leave me alone. And to this day, I don't remember. I think he just saw me on the phone. Maybe he just got tired of it. He just walked away, blah, 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 talking to himself. So I guess me being on the phone with my mom maybe scared him off finally, but he then walked away. But that was really a lot for me because I had never had someone act like that towards me. He was kind of like blocking me in ways. I was going one way, he was following me, getting in front of me, talking to me. So I felt really scared. I did not like to feel like I was being blocked off. and have this male presence just over top of me, telling me that he's not leaving me alone and asking me all these questions all upset. I didn't know what to do. But after that incident happened, he became a little more distant, and so did I, honestly. I think I started off, which kind of probably upset him and made him start to get an attitude with me because I was not hanging out with him as much. You were not invited, to my room and do stuff like as a group, since we were a big friend group originally, we were together and that's fine, but anything beyond maybe 3 or 4 people there, like, you are not going to be just me and you anymore, hun. No. So I think that really started to piss him off, and he started to get annoyed and upset with me and get an attitude. So even when we were in a big group with each other, you could tell as soon as I got around, his whole mood and demeanor changed. Like, looking, didn't want to say anything. So people obviously started to recognize, okay, well, what's going on with Jordan? Because, he's acting weird all now, so people could tell. So that was going on for a few weeks, and at that point, I was just like, you know what, if you want to have an attitude because you can't have what you want, then so be, because you're not going to make me want to be with you. You can't make me fall in love with you. You can't change the circumstance. If I don't want it to be more than what we are now, barely friends at that right now, then that's the case. And you're just gonna upset yourself more and possibly ruin the chances of us ever being close friends again if you act like this. So I didn't care at that point. I was just gonna let him do you, act like that if you want to. Didn't matter. But after a few weeks, he kind of changed things up. He apologized and tried, not really apologize, I should say, but basically tried to make it seem like, he wasn't going to act like an attitude, like a jerk anymore. And he was kind of sorry for being all weird acting. So I thought things were cool. I was like, okay, you finally realize, that you can't make me want to be with you. So I think you probably just missed me in general and was like, well, I'd rather just have her in my life as a friend than nothing at all. So that's what I thought the type of time we were on. So I was cool with that. Until it was the night before the last day of the semester, and my friend Lauren, she decided to have an end of the semester little soiree at her house, and I went to. Of course, there was alcohol there. I drank, had a great time. But when I was coming home from that soiree, my friend Brooklyn, she decided to have a movie night with all of our friends, and so she got the common floor ready. She pushed all the couches together, and it was basically a huge bed. We're just gonna all have a sleepover and watch movies. So I was like, sure, I'll come. Yeah, that's fine. It'll be so much fun. So as I'm walking up the stairs, trip up the stairs. So you already know what type of time I was on. I'm tripping up the stairs. So I get there, and most of our friends are there all hanging out and stuff. And my good friend, I guess he just thought, he saw me on that type time. He just thought, oh my goodness, this is my chance. So he was very talkative, friendly, flirty, one that he had been with me for weeks. And we were watching the movie. I remember him, I don't remember specifically what he was saying, but I remember him getting up all close to me, whispering things in my ear and stuff like that. And I was lit, so I definitely wasn't telling him to stop or no or leave me alone. I was just chilling and enjoying the vibe or whatever. But later, I come to find out, I didn't know this at first, but I guess he was trying to work his little magic and try to get me and him in our friend Brooklyn's room for the night. He was going to try, even though he knew that I was not in my best mind, that obviously I was not sober, and that I know he knows, that if I was sober at that time, it would have been a no. He wouldn't have tried any of that. But he thought, because I had been drinking, that I wouldn't put up much of a fight, and he thought that he was finally going to be able to get me into that room. But my good friend Jalil, and shout out to Jalil, I love and appreciate you so much for this, always will have love for you. He was like, that's not happening. He told Brooklyn he is not getting in the room with Jordan. She is drunk. She does not like him like that. It would not happen. He wouldn't be doing any of this if she was sober. And he told him the same thing. I guess apparently they exchanged words for a little while, and I guess my good friend ended up just leaving because he was annoyed, defeated, whatever the case may be. But Jalil let it be known that that was not going to happen because you're taking advantage of me, period, point blank. He saw me in a predicament that I should not have been in, and before something more serious happened, he stepped in and made sure I was not violated. So my good friend, I guess, had left, was mad. So I woke up the next morning and it was just me, my friend Brooklyn, D'Angelo, and Jalil there. So I'm just thinking, okay, well, everybody left. So I went about my way. The next day, you know, was our last day before the semester ends, and my friend Lauren, she was gonna drive me home and she was gonna spend the night in Pittsburgh with me. So my good friend decides all of a sudden he needs a ride home. So I asked Lauren if she can drive with me, but he kind of seems annoyed and stuff. Like, I know we had just recently, you know, got back to being friends, but he kind of seemed like annoyed and distant and stuff. So I was just like, whatever. I think he was probably annoyed to get him to hurry up and getting on his case, but little did I know it's because he got shot down the last night. So he was kind of annoyed, quiet, and the car didn't really say much. So I'm just thinking, whatever the case may be, okay, bye. A couple days later, we're into winter break, and I'm talking to Jalil, and it's then he tells me the full story of everything that happened and what was going on, and I was upset because I really trusted him as a person, as a friend, and it's just something you don't do to your friends and people you care about, whether or not you want to be with them or not. That was completely wrong, and he knows, and I know he knows that if I was sober, he wouldn't have even tried to even be all like that at first, flirty, whispering in my ear, trying to cuddle with me, because I would have shot it down. He knew what he was doing was mischievous, it was wrong, and it was just really hurtful. So yes, a lot of those mean words that I said to him came from a very hurt and upset place. So I was just like, you know, F that. I felt sorry for, you know, I should have called the police on you when I had the chance. I should have did this and that, because if you don't give up, then why should I care? So I was in a very upset place. For the whole winter break, I didn't care. He ended up not coming back the second semester. I was like, we weren't gonna be friends anyway, but I was just like, all right, whatever. So the second semester basically goes by. It's at the end, and he decides to come and visit Edinburgh, and I'm just like, I already had found out, people were telling me that he was gonna come and visit and stuff, and I was just like, ugh. But I guess he wanted to talk to me and apologize, and my friend Jalil kind of convinced me to hear him out, at least see what he has to say. So I did, and he apologized and told me how wrong he was and kind of explained his point of view and where his mind was at that time. Did I accept his apology? No, but so what I learned from this situation is to definitely use more communication and to stand my ground, because it's easy for things like this to happen to girls, especially in those college type of scenarios, and for friendships and relationships like this to kind of go off trail. There was a lot of misleading, a little bit of boundary mishaps and stuff, but when those things happen, it's very important to communicate and understand what's going on so you and this friend are on the same page, because it's so easy for one person to think something, interpret a situation one way, for someone else to interpret a different other way, and then that's when it causes problems, when you guys are on the same page and confusion happens like this. So definitely after the Halloween kiss especially should have been the time for me and my friend to really talk and understand that from my perspective is that this happened, yes, but it doesn't change the fact that I just want to be friends, nothing more, nothing less, and that's what it was going to be. We didn't have this type of conversation, so I think that's one of the reasons why our friendship ended up going downhill like that, because too much started to happen without really talking to each other about, and that's when disaster started to happen. And I think I also should have stand at my ground a little more when he wouldn't leave me alone that night outside of my dorm room. Now, after he apologized and had come up that weekend to visit, I never heard from him since. To this day, it's been, almost 3 years, never heard from him again, never talked to him. So that friendship, you see where that went. It was fine and nice and dandy for a couple of months until things started to go left. And then after the apology happened, we never talked again. So I hope all was well for him. I hope he learned something from that situation too, that that's not the way to go about things. I think he honestly did get a bad rep too at our school after that happened, because word had spread, I really don't know how, but word had spread about what had happened on the common floor. People already kind of realized that he was that type of guy, or he could be that type of guy, and some things were said and stuff. But I don't think that's the only reason why he didn't come back, or I don't even think that's the main reason why he didn't come back, but definitely word did spread about that. But you shouldn't have done it. That's all I can really say to him, is that you shouldn't have done it, and you wouldn't have got that reputation. But since then, I haven't made too many guy friends since. I don't know if that was just like a sign or whatever, but I don't know. I just haven't had that many guy friends since then. Like, I know I have my boyfriend, but I think I've definitely become more aligned with the girls because I am a little nervous. I mean, now I have a boyfriend, so that's not gonna happen regardless, but I don't want someone to take things the wrong way. At least now I know that I'd have to be more communicative and have a stronger foot standing on things so that we would have no communication issues, no you thinking one thing, I'm thinking the other thing, misleading type of friendships like that. So if I make more guy friends soon, then that's nice, but if not, then it is what it is. At least now I know how to not let that same situation happen, because not. So if you have any type of videos you want to see from me, just leave them in the comments and I will get to them, and so we can have more videos that cater to you guys. But I hope you like my story times. I think they're funny. I only share the best, I think the most entertaining or the most relatable ones I think people will really enjoy listening to. So if you have any other different topics that you want me to talk about too, leave those down in the comment bar, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Stay tuned for many more videos. Make sure you have the post notifications on too, so you'll really actually get alerted every time I post a new video. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you again. Love ya. And I'll see you guys soon.